Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, and welcome back to Talk the Wall. This is the 41st instalment, and before we get right into your responses and any questions you may have had, if you haven't seen any of the other 40 instalments, then why not go check them out. There's going to be a link in the description of this video for the last Talk the Wall. Alternatively, if you've missed any of the episodes that I may have done, then click the I button and you can catch up with any you have missed. But as always, do feel free to add your questions and opinions and let me know what you think as Millwall as a whole. Even if you're just an opposing fan, you happen to come across this podcast, just let me know what you think about Millwall and how you think it's all going for your side, maybe even. While you're down in the comments section, do feel free to leave your predictions for how you feel the game is going to go against Northampton Town. That's obviously on a Friday instead of a Saturday this week. And also let me know what you felt went right and wrong in those matches if you wish to do so. With this podcast, do bear in mind I recorded it on a Sunday, so if there is any new news stories, or if any of the stories I do say become outdated, then I'll cover them next week. Moving on to your predictions for this week, and Millwall played 2 games this week, the first being an away game to Shrewsbury Town on Tuesday, while we also played Gillingham on Sunday. And first and foremost, we're going to have to say a huge congratulations to Christian McScottwall and Jadams for predicting the correct scoreline for this game, obviously saying the game would end 2-1. Then 2 of you were just a Shrewsbury goal off the right scoreline, as the VeggieTube and Liam Gaming 2 said that the Lions would win by 2-0 and keep a clean sheet. Liam also added he expected Aidan O'Brien and Steve Morison to score for us, finishing with "Come on you Lions, meh." The final person to predict his scoreline for this match was Joe Conway, who was a couple of goals off by saying the scoreline of Millwall winning 1-0. As for the match and the predictions against Gillingham, no one got the 1-0 scoreline right for this match, though Dylan Gaming and Liam Gaming 2 were very close by saying Millwall would win 2-1. Liam added Gregory and O'Brien scoring for us, while Cody McDonald would grab theirs. He finished with "Come on you Lions, meh." The next closest was 2 of you, as Joe Conway and Lucas Peace said that Millwall would win 2-0. Lucas added Aidan to score in the 23rd minute, while Fergie would score in the 50th. Unfortunately, they were both wrong. With the next prediction, they were quite far away with the right one, but Christian McScottwall said that it would be an impressive 3-0 win, and if only we could have done that against Gillingham. The final person to predict was Jadams, who said that the game would end up 4-1 to Millwall, adding, "If we play the same way we did against Scunthorpe, then we're bound to go up." Last week I left a question which was who's to blame for the club's mistakes when they happen, and 2 of you left your views with contrasting opinions. The first was Christian Scott McWall, and he said, "I think that Harris is at fault for the poor play, because how long does it take for the opposition to work out Cooper playing a long ball forward tomorrow?" But anyway, we're on the way up, and also I don't understand why people criticise Aidan O'Brien when he's one of our top scorers. Keep faith, meh, come on you Lions. So before I move into the next view, I have to say something. I do really like Aidan, but I think that he's unlucky because he has the quality to do some great things in a Millwall shirt and actually achieve something with his career, but like many Millwall players, he isn't consistent enough, and obviously he's just 1 goal off our top goal scorer. Well, he was when Gregory and Morison were both on 15. Now that Morison's moved on to 16, it's 2, but he isn't far off, and what you're forgetting is he's played a lot as a left winger. So it's not all about, oh, he's playing not as a striker or anything. He's getting the goals and he's really doing well. So I think if he sticks around, I reckon 2 more years, he could definitely be a key player in our team. If he's not already one already, because he's still vital and he pops up with goals, especially when we need him. The second view was Liam Gaming 2, who said, "I would blame the players when we play badly because they are the ones that's playing the football at the end of the day." And I'm going to be honest, I reckon I would probably blame the players more, especially if we start playing more different styles of football. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section down below. My question for this week comes from Dylan Gaming, who said, "Will we make the playoffs?" So cheers for that, Dylan, and obviously you guys let me know what you reckon in the comments section down below. I'll talk about what I think, even though I've said it a couple of times, and obviously just let me know what you think. With the season very close to ending, do you reckon we will get into those playoffs? Moving into your comments, and we're going to start with Joe Holloway, who has a very nice comment to say, and he said, "What would you guys rather see, an Adele concert or a Prangell concert? Hashtag singing with the Prangles." I've got to say, I love this. I really do. I love all the nice joking comments, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to answer this one. It's going to be the Dell concert. She's a professional. She does it for money. I just give you an earache when I'm singing. Anyway, Riley Solo also added hashtag singing with Prangell's brother. So are we making this hashtag a thing? Let me know. And obviously, if you wish to, just put it in the comment section down below. I've got to say, I do love this now. Liam Gaming 2 is the next person to comment, and he starts with some songs, so go ahead and put in the comment section hashtag singing with Prangell if you feel the need to do so. Anyway, his first was meh. It then followed that up with oh Stevie Morison, and oh Aidan O'Brien, oh Aidan O'Brien. Another chant he left was Lee Gregory, Lee Gregory, Lee Gregory, Lee Gregory. And he's one of our own, he's one of our own. Ben Thompson, he's one of our own. And the final one that he left was Super, Super Nil, Super, Super Nil, Super, Super Nil, Super Nil Harris. Liam then left a bunch of questions, so we're going to answer them. And the first one was, I hope we get into the playoffs. Meh. I agree with you, and probably every Millwall fan does, to be honest. So we do have those fingers crossed, hoping that we can just make sure we get the playoffs and go one step further and get this promotion, because I tell you what, being in the Championship would be a much better feeling than being down in League One. His next question was, do you think we need a new midfielder? And no, with this answer, I did answer it a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to slightly go with a different approach to this one, as I know that I've said no a few times to it, so I'll answer it in a better way for you guys. So, what I'm going to say is, if we stay 4-4-2, we don't need to, because we've got enough midfielders to cover. If we go to 4-3-3, that formation needs 3 centre midfielders, and it would be a good idea to pick up another attacking midfielder. Liam's next comment was, do you think that we will ever get to the FA Cup final again? And with this one, I reckon we could. Now, I'm not saying that yes, we're going to do it in a couple of years, but there's always a chance. Nothing's impossible. We had an amazing cup run this year, and it's always a chance that that could ever happen again. I mean, we are a small football club. People do have to realise that. And, well, obviously with the cup run being linked with a little bit of a dip in form after we lost to Tottenham, I don't really want it to happen so much, but obviously, at the end of the day, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I wouldn't oppose to it happening. He then asked, who do you think will leave? Now, I answered this question about 2 weeks ago, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the couple of players that I reckon will leave again, adding a few more that could be given a chance, and a few players that could leave. Now, I do apologise if you hear anything in the background. I have to have my window open. It is sweltering in this room. So, the players that I reckon are going to leave. One could be Fred. I know a lot of you guys will probably know that already. He may still want to be with us, but chances are he probably won't sign that contract extension. Joe Martin, as he needs more game time. Then again, he did play up against Gillingham, so obviously yes, he was an ex-Gillingham player. He's probably raring to go for that one, but it was nice to see Joe get back into the team. The next player is David Ford, because his contract's up in the summer, and I do think that he's just going to go straight back to Portsmouth, because he's had an outstanding season with them. Why wouldn't he? And the final person that could go would be maybe Sid Nelson, depending on how much time he gets next season. I think that Sid's got potential, but obviously he's got to show that he's worth it, and he's got to get stronger on the ball. I think that he lacks what Webster and Hutchinson have, and that's strength on the ball. Other players that could leave are Morison and Gregory. Obviously that's quite unlikely, but it's just a shout in the dark. And finally, maybe even Greg Wild, but he could become useful next season, so we're just to have to wait and see on that one. Do you think we'll ever get to the Championship playoffs was Liam's next question, and I'm going to say it's unlikely, but I'm only going to say it's unlikely to do it within the next 6 years, and I can't 100% rule out the fact that we could do it. Obviously, no one can. Football is football. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. That's bound to happen. But we've got to get promoted to the Championship first before we worry about the Championship players. But either way, I reckon it's not impossible. I just don't know whether it'll happen. In the next couple of years, it won't happen. But if it does, I will definitely hold up my hands and say I was 100% wrong and apologise to all you guys that reckoned it would. Liam's next question was, do you think Harris is good for the Championship? And with this one, I have to say I reckon he is. With Millwall though, we've kind of been unlucky. We've already been in the Championship, he's already managed us slightly in the Championship, but this time he's learnt a lot, and he's a young manager, he's always learning. We've done alright in the Championship with him. I mean, we've been battling promotion, playoffs, that sort of thing, for 2 years now as in being a manager in this league, so it's not the worst case in the world, and I reckon if he goes up, he'll be able to build his reputation up and get better and better as a manager, and I just feel he'll be able to do so. Do you think we need a striker, was Liam's next comment, and he said this and a couple of weeks ago I believe, and I do want to stick with what I said last time. That is, I do want an experienced striker. Now I'll break down what I mean by an experienced striker. Between the age of 25 to 28, someone not from the conference, someone that is from a respectable league, whether that's the Championship or League One, I really wouldn't care, but we're lucky to have a squad that can score with a lot of different areas other than Gregory and Morison. I mean, we have 59 goals and 33 of those have been scored from other players rather than Morison and Gregory, so it's one of those things, and even we've got to take into account that Morison was struggling to score until he got that goal against Gillingham, so our strikers ain't always the players that we rely on to get the goals, other players can score them. His next comment was, do you think we are good enough for the Championship? And I'm going to get a lot of hate for this answer, but no, that would be my answer at the moment. I think that there's a lot of shortcomings around the club at this year, as we've proved a lot of times when we thought, yeah, we're going to go for it, we're going to smash it, we're going to get promotion straight away, easy, and we haven't. Now, I'm not saying that we couldn't be good enough for the Championship, I'm saying I don't think we are. It's because some of those players, they need to get better, and form really affects the team, and if we finish in the playoffs and we go up, then I reckon we could do it in the Championship, but I think we're a small Championship side / League One side. It's just the way it is. There's a couple of issues at the club at the moment. I don't know whether they would be solved even if we got promoted. Liam's second to last comment that I'm going to be answering is one that I bonded together with another. So that is, do you think Millwall will win the playoffs and do you think we'll go up? And my answer is we have a huge chance to do both. We have very little games left now, and well, as long as we keep winning them, then we keep that winning mentality, then I believe it will be worthwhile. And well, if we keep the mentality as if a relegation side is, where you have to win every game or you're going down, then I think it'd be worthwhile. I think we could go up, but as I said, I don't know whether we'd do so well in the Championship, but obviously that's only for me to see when it actually happens. Do you think Archer will be the future captain, was Liam's final comment, and I think he has as good a chance as any other, to be honest. And really, if we have a look at it, in the next 3 years, I do think there's going to be a couple of changes. Obviously, there's going to be a couple of players that are less likely to be with us. Now, I think Ben Thompson or Byron Webster could also be the captain in the upcoming future. So Archer, if he does stay with us, maybe. But in the next 3 years or so, Craig Morison and Williams may not be with us. If they are, then they're coming towards the end of their careers because they are older, more experienced members of our squad. The second question I asked last week, which was who has been the best player in each position and also the best manager? Well, no one actually answered this, so I'm going to roll it out for one more week and we'll see how that one goes. You just have to put who you think it is and everything. I mean, there's going to be a few obvious ones. I mean, I'll tell you who I think mine is next week if it helps. Moving on to this week's Loan Watch, and we're going to take a look firstly at how Greg Wild's Northampton side got on, and well, a bit of news here is Greg didn't feature. He actually wasn't even on the bench, as his side lost 2-1 to now promoted Sheffield United, who have ended their 6-year wait to return to the Championship. So I'm just going to end on a little bit of a side note with that one. Congratulations, Sheffield United. They were a side that needed to go up. They've been struggling for years not going up, and well, Chris Wilder's come in. They've made some great signings in players like John Fleck, and it's worked for them this year, so well done for that. I hope you do very well in the Championship. If we drop down a league, we see that Sid Nelson sat on the bench as Newport County beat Exeter City 1-0 to keep their survival hopes up, meaning they only need 4 points to get out of that relegation zone. They do still have just about enough time to get out of that drop zone if they just keep going. As for David Ford, well, his Pompey side won 3-1 against Yeovil. His side now are 8 points ahead of 4th place Luton with 4 games to go. It's looking likely that they could actually go straight up to League One. How did the three lads get on their game at Braintree when they played Dover? Well, no one actually started this game in their 2-1 loss, but Chris Twaddock and Corin Farrell would stay on the bench while Malubu wouldn't even make the bench in this one. As for Alfie Pavey, he came on as a very late substitute in Dartford's match against Eastbourne Borough as the Darts won 4-3. As I said, Pavey came on with very little time left, meaning he didn't really make an impact in this game. Harry Donovan was the final player out on loan, and well, I think you heard what happened last week. He got sent off, so he had to watch from the sidelines as his side won 2-1 against Molesey, guaranteeing a playoff space after his teammate Travis Gregory scored a double. Millwall played 2 matches this week, with the first being a 2-1 win over Shrewsbury Town, where Steve Morison assisted twice, whilst Millwall's 2 centre-backs showed Steve Morison how to put the ball in the back of the net, as Byron and Sean both scored half volleys despite their lack of goal scoring this season. Sean Wally scored the goal for Shrewsbury late on. The match against Gillingham may have ended 1-1 with a draw with our rivals, though Southend losing 2-1 thanks to an own goal means that this point puts us in 6th and we're now in the playoffs, which is fantastic for the club moving forward. As for the game, Gillingham scored first through Joe Quigley, but thankfully captain on the day Steve Morison netted an equaliser minutes later to keep Millwall in with a chance of getting these playoffs, which we so badly want. As for the player of the week, I have to go with Steve Morison. You can't look any further than him. He got 2 assists and a goal, which really, he's the creative player that did the best for us this week. Without him, we wouldn't have got any points, as every goal that was scored involved Morison. Now it's time for the ups and downs, and this week we're going to start with League 2. And top of the league, Doncaster Rovers, who got promotion this week, actually won 1-0 against Mansfield Town. Now, I believe last week I said they'd already got promotion, but either way I can only apologise, and we knew it was coming eventually. So they beat Mansfield Town, leaving their side now on 84 points, and definitely looking forward to battling for that title now. Plymouth Argyle are close behind and have been chasing Doncaster for that title for many weeks now. They also won and are 6 points off the top, but only 4 above Portsmouth. Their win was a 2-1 result over Crawley Town. The final team in the top 3 are Portsmouth, who was obviously featured in the Loan Watch, as they beat Yeovil 3-1, and looks really likely that they're going to start their battle to get back where they once was and try and eventually one day get back to that Premier League, as now they are 8 points clear of 4th, and it really would take something big for them not to go up now. What about what happened in the Championship? And well, Rotherham and Wigan played each other in a tie that ended 3-2. I don't think you would have expected that at the start of the season, though Rotherham were already expected to go down. Well, it was already confirmed. This game meant that it was obviously fantastic for Wigan as they won the game 3-2. However, they are 7 points off staying in the league, so they're not safe by any stretch, and well, they have a lot of work to do if they are going to be able to stay and play another season in the Championship. 22nd are Blackburn Rovers, who lost their 3rd match under Tony Mowbray. Since they've lost 1, they've just been losing so many. Their side lost 2-0 to Barnsley, and their troubles were worsened by Bristol City winning, meaning Rovers need 4 points to even equal Bristol City at the moment. Now into our final section of the podcast, and that's the Millwall news. This week we have 3 stories ranging from Byron Webster texting Mark Beevers to Webster talking about the playoffs. The first story that we'll be covering is that Mark Beevers got texted by Byron Webster after his late winner helped Millwall in their bid for the playoffs. Webster texts Beevers, "Even though you've left, you're still proper Wall." The next story comes from left midfielder Shane Ferguson, who said that Millwall's players made up a lot to correct with what was going wrong on their run where they wasn't picking up a win. And with this, Captain Tony Craig and Assistant Captain Steve Morison got the team mentally prepared and ready, which actually led to Neil Harris not really having to do so much, as he knew the players were mentally prepared for the match against Scunthorpe. The third and final story comes from Byron Webster again, as he said there was a lot of pressure for Millwall to get into these playoffs, but this is helpful because they know what they have to do, and obviously they know how they get there and how they have to do because of what happened last season. They do want to better themselves, he said. So that is all we've got time for today. Do feel free to put your questions and opinions in the comments section for the next Talk to Wall. However, before I go, don't forget to tell me your score predictions for the game against Northampton Town in the comments section, as next week I'll be covering the game and highlighting the good and bad points. And while you're down there, don't forget to tell me your opinions of the matches that Millwall played and Millwall as a whole. So like, comment, subscribe, and of course I will see you guys next week for the next Talk to Wall. But until then, goodbye.